What is up, YouTube? Welcome to a brand new video today. Today we are talking Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle, one of my most anticipated films of this year, just for the main fact being that I love the first Kingsman movie. I'm a huge fan of the director of Matthew Vaughn, so going into this film I had high expectations. And did they meet them? Yeah, they did. You know what? I had so much fun with this film. I think this is one of the most entertaining films of this year, and I think Matthew Vaughn did a fantastic job directing this film. Now, is this a better, well-made film than the first one? No, but in my opinion, I find this to be probably more entertaining, more fun, and this film did everything an action sequel should. It builds the mythology of what the first film was, adds some more crazy type stuff in there, gives more characters, gives some more of that like mythology action, and builds the world around it, has high octane action that's 10 times bigger than the first one, with so much more into it, more bonkers, more insane, more crazy and zaniness, and it also brings back awesome characters that we loved in the first one. To me, that is what a sequel should do, and it escalated everything to that level, and I loved what Kingsman 2 took with all the characters, and it took with this story. Like I said, I do have my problems, and we'll get to that in a second, but I want to really praise a lot of the first things that I really liked about this film, and that comes down to be the direction from Matthew Vaughn. He directed the hell out of this film again. The action in here is so stylized and so beautiful in every whimsical way, and that was one of the best aspects of this film, was how he directed this film, and he's always been a fantastic director, but he always does it to such a crisp, and this is no exception. I'm gonna give major shoutouts to the whole cast. The cast was all great in here. Taron Egerton, once again, the way he took his character of Eggsy was fantastic. I love where they wrote his character this time. Colin Firth also returns, surprisingly, as Harry Hart, as one of the best characters from the first film. And the way they brought him back, I'm not gonna get into spoiler territory. I actually did like it more than I think some other people will. But it relies into the Kingsman world, it makes sense, and I like what they did there. Strong also returns as Merlin, he's fantastic, and then of course we have Julianne Moore as the villain this time, and Julianne Moore is a fantastic actress. She is an Oscar-winning actress, and she is great in here. She's very eccentric, she's very bonkers, she's very crazy. The one complaint I did have about her character is I wish she had a little bit more to do. To me, she's kind of like Dr. Evil. She just sits in this area that she lives in, making all of her plans, making all of her villainous roles, and that's really it. There's nothing more to her character from just that aspect, but she was really fun to watch on the screen. And of course, we have the new statesmen. We have Channing Tatum, Jeff Bridges, Halle Berry, and Pedro Pascal, and 3 out of those 4 characters are barely in the movie. Can you guess which ones? Yeah, it's the main top billboard characters. And that's not saying that they gave a bad performance or anything. I think it's just more how the marketing gave and how they edited the movie down. I did like where their characters were, and it's cool to see them in this world, because if we do get a Kingsman 3, which I really hope we do, it'd be great to see their characters in there. I was just very disappointed that we didn't get a lot of Channing Tatum. We didn't get a lot of Jeff Bridges. And I wasn't expecting a lot of Jeff Bridges or Halle Berry. I was expecting a lot of Channing Tatum, though, from all the marketing. And really, every scene you see in the trailers is all that you really get. Like I said, not completely bad, but it might disappoint some people. So if you haven't seen Kingsman 2 yet, go into this thinking that. But Pedro Pascal in here, if you've never known him, he's from Game of Thrones. He plays Oberyn in there, one of the best characters in Game of Thrones. He also is in Narcos, and seeing him come into this movie was great. I mean, the fact that he wasn't top billboard does piss me off, but I think he deserved it because he was so great in this movie. He has 2 of the best action scenes in the whole film, and that's what I said. This movie has some of the best action I've seen all year long. It's stylized, it's gritty, it's really fast-paced. It's just like how that church scene the first one was, but times 10. And I never thought it hit that rank of it, because I still love that scene more than anything else from this movie. But every other action scene in this film is just as good or better than the first film. Especially the ending. The climax for this film and the way the film opens up is so good. I loved it all. The score is also fantastic as well. The cinematography is great as too. Now, my couple cons with this film is, one, it is a little too long. 2 hours and almost 30 minutes is kind of a joke for a Kingsman movie. There were some subplots in here with this like president kind of election type thing that could have been completely cut out. I didn't even need it in there. Then there were some other things with some of Eggsy's friends and stuff that was cool and interesting, but I didn't need. And that's my one aspect of this film, is that there's some subplots that they decided to focus on, and some scenes and clips that you could have just trimmed the runtime down significantly from that. And I might be in the minority, but I feel like you could have. And don't get me wrong, the pacing for this film was very still fast-paced, but towards the end I was like, okay, it's getting late, let's get this done, let's finish this out. And like I said, it's not a bad film. This is not as well made as the first film. I think it has some story issues, it has some pacing issues with the scenes that are kind of escalated a little too long, but the jokes in here are great. The action here is stylized and intense and gritty, and the whole film itself is bonkers and insane, and I mean, that's what Kingsman is. It took this first one, it took the first Kingsman, and took it and went and escalated it to times 11. I loved what they did in this film. Like I said, I do have my problems with this film. I don't think it's one of the best films of this year, but it did disappoint me on some levels, but I still have to say that I had so much fun with Kingsman 2, and that it did have a high bar to hit from Kingsman 1. That said, I'm going to give Kingsman 2 a B-. Grade actually might bump up within the couple of days. I am going to go see Kingsman 2 again and see if it is. And if I do, maybe I'll do a spoiler review and bump my grade up for it. But I am going to stick it at B- right now, just for the fact that it was too long. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more of the Statesman. And I felt like the movie could have been cohesively put back together perfectly and better. But like I said, this is still a very fun movie. And I'm really mad that critics are bashing this film. I don't think it deserves that. It's not mediocre at all. It is a very highly entertaining movie, and I'm going to tell you guys this: don't let the critics ruin this film. Please go and check out Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle so we can get a third one. I'm not joking with this. It totally deserves it. I think you guys need to all go check it out. Go form your own opinions on this Kingsman 2. I promise you, you're going to have a ton of fun. You're going to laugh. You're going to smile. And that's what I did throughout this whole film. But what did you guys think of Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle? If you've already seen it, comment down below and let me know. And if you haven't, tell me how excited you are for it. Thank you guys as well for always watching. I totally love you guys so much. I also have a giveaway going on my channel, so if you didn't see that video yesterday, make sure to go check that out. And of course, I do have a Patreon started up. Go check out that video as well. It's also on my channel. You can find out how to support me on Patreon. But other than that, guys, enough with the plugs. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and stay classy and have a great rest of your day.